Hello, wonderful people. Come on in the room. So, today is just going to be a compilation of things that I want to talk about, starting with the DEI and all of the different rollbacks with the immigration. Please, please, black people. I'm going to stop saying black. From now on, I'm going to refer to what are so called black people as copper tones, which is what I say anyway. Black is not a thing, it's a color, and you should not accept being called that because that's not who you truly are. So from now on, copper tones for FBAs is how I'm going to proceed. Now, with the civil rights movement that happened back in the 50s because people wanted to be treated like humans because of the Jim Crow laws that were prominent throughout the South mainly. The movement was hijacked by the feminist movement and the concept of immigration, okay? Immigration, not so much for people coming from European countries, but from everywhere else, right? With that being the case and the movement being hijacked from the face of the movement, you had all of these different groups of people benefiting off of what was initially a concept to benefit copper tones, but was not in any way, shape, or form going to benefit them. And they found out later on during the movement that it wasn't. Because copper tones at that point was not only just wanting equality, they wanted economic equality. Because you have to look at what all the different acts and things that were going on during that time. They literally had homestead acts where people were coming in from other countries, getting fully set up and getting hundreds of acres of land to own and harvest and grow whatever they wanted to grow. They was just giving them this land so they could live in those communities and being taught how to operate said lands and given the equipment to operate said lands. You have to look under the Homestead Acts to see that information. The movement gets hijacked by people's religious group, people, immigrants, women's movements. The failure on Coppertone's women's part, as far as the women's movement, is the fact that black women, Coppertone women, had always been equal to their men and had always been working with their men. So the concept of the feminist movement for Coppertone women, that should not have even applied because it didn't apply. Those concepts didn't apply to the lifestyles of Coppertone women, and it should have been rejected as soon as it was presented to them. That was the first part of the history with the women's suffrage movement, right? You could tell that white women needed black women to get a notoriety or attention to their movement because otherwise it would just seem like you complaining for nothing. But if you pull in black women or copper tone women, then you have leverage because they're there as well. But they're not going to get the same benefits as the white women, which they did not and have not. So you're looking at situations where you have these movements and it appears that people are getting, oh, you had a civil rights movement, you had a civil rights act, and this, that, and the other, and so all these things are gonna stop happening. But they were trying to fight police brutality, which is still continuing because people have, up into recent times, still been getting murdered by the police, right? Um, many big cases, the Rodney King incidents. I mean, there's so many. I'm not going to bring up the most recent ones, but a lot of them were continuing to happen. That was the same thing that was going on in the 1950s. They was being attacked by dogs and beat and had water hoses being shot out water at them. You know what I'm saying? So that was still happening in recent times. So you can tell that that didn't benefit black folks. The redlining didn't benefit black folks. The fact that a company or organization or any business operating in America could comfortably appraise someone's house and undervalue it because they didn't like the color of the person's skin or they wanted to put the black person's house undervalued because that's what they wanted to do, that right there lets you know that the DEI wasn't benefiting black people. okay? Because you wouldn't have had those kind of issues if that was the case. The fact that black women up in like, I think it was like 2019 had to create like one of those kind of pledge situations so that they could wear their hair naturally in office spaces. That was an issue recently, in recent time, in the 21st century. So you have so many different instances of where it was not and has not been benefiting black people, but because there are so many other things tied in with that civil rights movement or with a left thinking mindset or what have you, people overlook and ignore what they were marching for. They marched for the right to be able to be around white people and not be beat up or put in jail or called names. That's what they were marching for. They weren't marching for anything else because they already had their own stuff. They already had black towns. They already had black colleges. They had everything they wanted. Everything that you need to be sufficient, they already had and was thriving and doing well. There were many black towns, and you have to construct in your mind what it takes to create a town that is functional and operational to where it is successful. Okay? They had created towns all over the United States. Black copper tones. They children, maybe even their children's children, decided that they wanted to be able to go and sit at a restaurant where people that they claimed didn't like them were at. I should be able to use any restroom. I should be able to do this. I should be able to do that. I should be able to do that. You should be able to do it, but common sense says that you wouldn't do it around people that don't like you. Because even if it's just a person of a different race, people don't behave like that with people that are of their race. If you know someone that's of your race and they don't like you, you don't even deal with them. So why would you do the opposite with somebody that's not of your race? And so then you have fast forward. Now all the money from the black schools or the Coppertone schools has been siphoned out of the schools and sent to the other schools where people were sending their children because they were led to believe that those schools were better than the schools in their communities. Either somebody was lying or somebody was easily scammed. Huh? Oh, that means the same thing, don't it? Somebody was lying or somebody was easily scammed. That means the same thing, but different. Now, I believe it's two things. Because with the segregation, the desegregation, the white schools, they were supposed to send their children to the black neighborhood schools. So those tax dollars keep going back and forth. They reneged and didn't send their kids. So all of those copper tones that sent their kids to them schools, y'all should have not sent your kids there. They reneged. They don't get their tax dollars and your tax dollars. That don't sound right. And it would have been an overrunning of the classrooms because it's a certain amount of teachers for each student. And why would you send your child to a neighborhood full of grown-ups that don't like you? They're not gonna like your child either if that's what the case is. Fast forward to now. You marched, you got the civil rights so that you could go shopping with white people, so that you could eat around white people, so you can live around white people, so that you can date white people, marry white people without going to jail and all those things. You can do that. Now they changed the DEI, you want to boycott the store. The point of the matter was so you could go shopping with white people. The DEI change, it don't change the fact that you can still go shopping with white people. The DEI change, it don't change the fact that they still have black creators in the store selling their products. It doesn't change those facts. Y'all can still do those things. So the boycotting, the concept needs to change and advance. You can't keep reverting back to we gonna boycott and we gonna sing and we gonna march. You're listening to these people that clearly you have seen in these past elections, they have been getting paid to have you to vote against your best interest. They haven't been doing anything to help black communities or Coppertone communities. From all accounts, if they are doing something to benefit you, or your community, then why is it that they so chummy being on these news stations that promote media information that is lying about copper tones? Misguided information, stereotypes. They partake in these media organizations that do these things. But you listening to these people, they just making money and they comfortable doing that. So the bottom line is that at some point you have to advance. Why aren't they saying, okay, we're going to start a cooperation of every person in America that is Coppertone FBA. We're going to all put our money in and we're going to buy stock in these companies. Every company that has a lot of black creators and they sell their product, we're going to buy a bunch of stock and we just going to have stock in these companies, and that's how we're going to stay in the companies. The way that you keep black products is in stores is that you buy the black products. You keep requesting the black products be put in the stores and ordered so that you can buy them. That's how you keep buying those products. You support those products. It shouldn't have to be no black creators or no Coppertone creators saying, well, I don't really know what to say. They don't know what to say, but y'all trying to make it seem like they just supposed to destroy their business. The purpose of the civil rights movement was so you could go to a white-owned store and buy black products, which is what you can do now. The problem with the DEI is that people were mishandling it and using rights and benefits that were not intended for them. And y'all are just not saying that because you're trying to be too nice to everybody, thinking that you can kumbaya. Listen, it was just a few years ago the Asians were sitting up saying that they needed to get rid of affirmative action because it was benefiting black people. But in reality, affirmative action was created for white women. Black women always been working. Coppertone women always been working. Coppertones have always, we've been had our own colleges for I don't know how long. Literally, you can't say it's an affirmative action thing because during the time when I believe slavery had just ended, George Washington Carver went to a regular university and got a bachelor's degree. Then went to another university and got a master's degree. So you can't say that black people weren't able to go to college because they were. But you got people coming from other countries being misguided by people that came from other countries that's trying to teach American history in a slanted mindset to make it seem like Coppertones are the worst of the worst kind of people because Coppertones was enslaved. Slavery was just the industry, like healthcare, like technology, like manufacturing. It's just an industry. People's heartstrings are getting tied into it because you're looking at it like, well, they had black people working for free. They had black people where they housed them and gave them some food, treated them poorly, but they were not paying them money. They were compensated in a different concept if you're looking at it from a business aspect, which is how people are compensated now. Slavery is different, but the concept is now you pay for insurances, you get your income tax, you pay sales taxes, and you get money, and you pay for your own stuff with the money after you've been taxed. What's the difference? What's the difference? Because you can't hardly take off sick days. People won't believe you if you say you sick, but they will believe a man or a woman saying that they identify as a different gender than what they were born as. They will believe that before they believe someone that says, I am ill and I need days off from work. Make it make sense to yourself. This ain't even to debate nobody pronouns. That's what caused all this friction with the DEI. Y'all were overstepping y'all boundaries. You were using and leveraging concepts and ideas and rights and regulations and rules that were not intended for your use. And now this is the result of what's going on. It got to be demolished. It got to be stopped. It has to be changed to fit what it was supposed to fit. Birthright citizenship was meant for the slaves. It wasn't meant for nobody coming from another country and they just giving birth in America. That don't even sound right. That doesn't sound right. But people was taking advantage of that situation. And all the Caribbean and South American and other North American and African immigrants that came to America, y'all been talking so much noise and nonsense about FBAs all this time. Asia even. Middle East to Africa. All of y'all been talking so much noise about African Americans. Y'all don't know where y'all come from. Y'all don't this and y'all don't that and yada da 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 da, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But you are literally benefiting off of the struggles of our ancestors. Literally. Everything that you have in the country of America is literally not because of your hard work. The idea, the concept of you even being in the country is because of our ancestors. And y'all need to show them a little more respect, because they were the ones that were getting their asses handed to them, working day and night for nothing. No money, no anything. And then when they got the freedom that they had to fight for, more rules were created to try to keep them from being their best versions of themselves. They created towns to later have those towns ruined and desecrated by immigrants from other countries. That y'all participated in that. You did. You did. Most of which were from European countries, but still, some of y'all participated in that nonsense. To further add insult to injury, with the human rights movement being hijacked so that immigrants can fight the powers that be after you have literally just landed. So you done went to school and got your education on the struggles of black people. Open businesses on the struggles of black people. To turn around and treat black people like they are beneath you. To now fast forward, be afraid because you're being sent back to the country where you came from. I find it so hard to believe that people are literally in America working jobs with no citizenship. I don't even know how you can do that, because you literally had to do background checks for everything. So you mean to tell me American citizens got to be background checked for everything, but because you immigrated from somewhere else, you don't have to do background checks? How does that even sound? And why is that fair? So when I have to make sure I pay my sales taxes and property taxes and all these taxes on my car and keep insurance, you ain't got to make sure you do any of those things? I have to be vaccinated to go and get a job. You ain't got to get no vaccinations. What are we talking about? I got to do all these background screenings. There's no way that you're not doing background screenings. There's no way. That doesn't even sound right. And it's completely unfair. The purpose of background screenings is so that you can track situations that occur if it's something that is causing illness to spread around. That's part of the reason why you're doing background checks, but that's not even the point. The point is, y'all been talking so greasy online for years. I just heard a streamer saying some stuff about, oh, you just an American. You just an African American. Literally, Caribbean people, y'all are literally from Turtle Island. I don't know what they was teaching y'all, where y'all was from. Y'all are us. Y'all are copper tones like us. You not Jamaican. You're from Turtle Island. You're not fucking Haitian. You're from Turtle Island. You're not from whatever the fuck you think you from that's better than black people in America. You're literally us. What are you talking about? Stop the nonsense. Y'all are literally us. You're not from no fucking Africa. Everybody originated in Africa. They didn't have there's no way that they shipped all of those slaves from Africa to fucking America. They ain't have the equipment, but they would have been able to ship them from North America to fucking the Caribbean. So that would imply that the people was already on or in America, okay? That they were shipping. There was millions of nations of people here. There was different nations and different colors of people. They weren't all just this one Mexican looking Indian. It was darker skinned natives as well, which is what you are, Caribbean people. You come from Turtle Island. You Niji like us. So stop the cap with this BS like y'all think y'all so special. You're us. You're literally us. Y'all are cousins. We the same. We are exactly the same people. Y'all are tripping because y'all just trying to be different and special because y'all, I don't know what y'all are thinking. Maybe you immigrated in and people make you feel like you got to do whatever. I don't know what y'all are thinking. But y'all, did you forget that Toussaint Louverture was in America? Obviously, you us. Huh? You're us. Whether you got an accent or not, y'all are at Turtle Island. Y'all need you. So stop this BS with you trying to make it seem like you're somewhere else, and you not. You're from Turtle Island like us. Talking about America. You American people. Your ancestors is our ancestors. What do you mean? What are you saying? You're not better than us. You are us. We are y'all and y'all are us. That's the problem. You don't know where you come from. That's the problem. You don't know where you come from while you're sitting up trying to say, we don't know where we come. We from where we are. Where we come from, we from where we are. We from Turtle Island. Y'all are from Turtle Island. You just got shipped there. That's not to understand. Do your family trees better. Your history ain't what they tell you in these books. Your history is what your family is. And by God, please stop this old played out civil rights movement. We have advanced. We not sitting up boycotting stores so you can get paid on the black end. We can't sit up and be struggling like this consistently. So everybody that call themselves an activist for black people, you're going to have to get a new job. You're going to have to advance your mind. Because we can't keep being oppressed because you making money off of the oppression. That's not an industry no more. Step off of that nonsense and get your life. What we own is creating our wealth for all of us. So if you not on that and you still beating this drum of oppression because that's what's been helping you eat all of these years, you about to starve. Because we not doing that no more. All the marching and swing low street chariots? No. Because here's the truth. There ain't no way that America is racist like you're saying it. Because if it is, y'all would be governing yourselves differently. It ain't racist like you trying to say that it is. Because if it was, you would be governing yourselves differently and behaving like you around a known threat of an enemy. But y'all don't behave like that. You send your children to the schools. You work around the people. You shop in their stores. You buy their products. You brag about buying their products. You wear their makeup, their hair, their eyelashes, their nails, all their clothes, drive their cars, all of those things. So there's no freaking way that you think America is racist. Because if you did think America was racist, you would be governing yourself like you around someone you know is your enemy. And if that ain't the case, then you need to start shopping at the stores and promoting these people that got their products in these stores and stop talking about this nonsense of boycotting. Y'all crazy. You're crazy with it. That was the reason that they was marching and protesting, because they wanted to ride in the front of the bus. They didn't want to sit in the back. They wanted to go and shop at all the stores. Then they wanted to have their products in the stores. And that's what you got. But you're going to protest it. That's seeing the trees but not seeing the forest. You got to start playing the long game. So how about this? If you actually think it's racist, start your own cooperatives. It's enough of us to do that. It's enough of us that got land. What's actually important to you as a person, as a group of people? What's actually important? Because it's a many ways we can handle this, because it's infinite ways to do everything. It's enough of us for us to be on the boards of all of these companies. It's enough of us to be on the boards of all of these companies and to have our children on the boards of all of those companies. Huh? It's enough of us to do that. We got our own think tanks. We been had them because you literally be creating content. You're the think tanks. So get out of this notion of so-and-so is better than this person, that person, and all those things. We got to look at it from a different lens. George Washington Carver already told us what we were supposed to do that would help the world. Y'all just got to do it. And for you Caribbeans, you Caribbeans, stop trying to act like you not us. You are us, but you better show a little more respect than what you've been doing. That's what it is. Y'all came from Niji Island. Stop acting like you didn't. Stop acting like you didn't. You Jamaicans, you know you better not ever disrespect no FBAs. Talk about cotton picking. You pick cotton too. Sugar cane, coffee. That's what y'all picked. Stop playing these games. Y'all like us. You are cousins. You don't get to talk crazy about us. And you damn sure don't get to talk crazy about the ancestors that was here marching and protesting, and you benefiting from them. You better humble yourselves. Humble yourselves royally. And be thankful that you had the opportunity to come and do whatever it is you're doing, but you don't get to talk crazy about us because you're doing something different, because your stuff that you're doing different was based on lies. We are descended from the ones who fought here in this country. You are descendants from the ones who fought in the country you came from. Now, if they didn't press that government from the country you came from to give you things, then that's your fallacy, but you got to work on that slippery slope yourself. But don't come here talking crazy nonsense. Get out of here with that. You're not our enemies. And we ain't your enemy. We cousins when you look at it. We cousins. Y'all better get in line and understand that. Talking about this slave ship story. They ain't had no ship big enough to send those slaves all the way from Africa to North America. Look at the distance that is. Back then, they could barely figure out how to feed themselves. You mean to tell me they can make a ship large enough and with the mechanics to ship that many people from Africa to from the African continent to North America and make stops? Who you're talking to? Well, they have what? They're telling you that they're going out in space. You believe that too. That's not how you go out in space. That's not how you go to different dimensions or different planets. You don't go in no rocket ship, but anybody that's telling you that you go in a rocket ship is a liar. They just going in a different part of the atmosphere of the earth. But they not going outside of the planet. You honestly think that the atmosphere break open and then close back up? What you talking about? That sounds dumb. It sounds misguided, but y'all listening to somebody that's on the spectrum telling you that he going out in outer space. He going to go to Mars. Stop it. That's not how you would travel to Mars. Huh? You can go to Mars, that's not how you travel to Mars. That's not how you travel to any planet. That's not how you travel in different dimensions. See, sometimes the stupidest person that seems like they're the smartest because they got money is the dumbest person. Let me tell you this. Money don't mean you smart. Huh? It does not mean that you smart. Money does not mean that you're smart. It does not. It does not mean that you're intelligent. It doesn't mean that you're a genius. He just used somebody else's ideas. And I'm talking about Elon Musk. He just used someone else's ideas and studied it. That's all he did. Yeah, you might be good at math a little bit, but awkwardly, you're socially awkward. That means that you don't have the components to gain the energeticness of how to communicate with other people on different levels of consciousness. The levels of consciousness is sturdy and stuck in one atmosphere. So you can't read the room like other people. You have to be able to do that on earth to even surpass whatever levels of experience you're here to gain. He can't do that. But y'all listen to him like he God. He not. He telling you he could go out of space. That's as in a human form with a suit and a rocket. Well, let me tell you this then, since you believe that. I'm selling tickets to see Jesus on the moon and Elvis Presley on the moon. It's a gold ticket. It sparkles. And if you want to buy one of these tickets to see Jesus on the moon and Elvis on the moon, you can have a copy or your own. It's going to be a digital ticket. And there are only a limited supply of these digital tickets. And you get to ask Jesus one question, and the date will be 2030. You will go there on December 31st, 2029, and you will wake up 2030, January 1st, and you'll be able to ask Jesus or Elvis one question only. You can pay on these tickets. These tickets cost $25,000. But you can ask them whatever question you want to know about. And Jesus or Elvis Presley will answer that question for you. Because this golden ticket, it's a digital golden ticket that I have created. I am the only seller of this ticket. No one else is selling this ticket, but we only have a limited supply of the gold tickets. We have silver tickets as well, which are also digital tickets, and those tickets will allow you to just see Jesus and see Elvis. You will not be able to ask them no questions. Again, you would leave December 31st, 2029, and you would arrive on the moon January 1st, 2030. Okay? The new year. Right? Because that's the new year, right? Right. And then we have another tier of tickets. Those silver tickets are $10,000. We do have payment plans. It's 2025 now, but you can pay on those tickets so that you can meet Jesus and Elvis and ask a question for the gold tier. And the silver tier, you will be able to be in their presence and feel the energy of these beings. And the third tier is a bronze ticket. Also a digital bronze ticket. Beautiful, beautiful, exquisite, limited, more than the silver and gold, but still a limited option. These tickets are $5,000. And what you will be able to do is you will be able to go to sleep December 21st, 2029, and you will wake up, and during you'll wake up January 2nd, 2030, but during the time when you are asleep, you will be given instructions that will allow you to energetically beam yourself to the location where you can witness people asking the questions to Elvis and Jesus, as well as people visually seeing and being in the presence of Jesus and Elvis and feel their energy and watch the transformation happen. You can watch it happen. So we have a $20,000 tier, a $10,000 tier, and a $5,000 tier for everyone who feels that it's necessary for them to be a part of this miraculous, beautiful event. 2030, the moon and you, Jesus and Elvis. Get your digital tickets today. We have payment plans set up. And you can start thinking about the question you're going to ask Jesus Christ. You can start thinking about the question you're going to ask Elvis Presley. You can think about these questions now. Because you too can go to the moon. You don't have to worry about no rocket. We have the golden tickets. We have the method on how to get you to the moon. To ask these questions of Jesus and Elvis Presley. We have that method. So, if you want a ticket, please like, comment, share the video. Get the word out. But because this nonsense of flying a rocket to the moon, to Mars, and all these other planets, they don't know what they're talking about. I know what I'm talking about, and I know how you can get there, and you can ask Jesus questions. But it's going to cost you $20,000. Now, you see how that sound? Okay. All right. And I'm not on the spectrum. But I just made it sound how it sound. But I'm honest to God, if you want to go and ask Jesus questions on the moon, you can do that whenever you get ready. Okay? I'm just saying. Because, honey, they got y'all protesting, marching. When you gonna overcome, black people? Or you ever gonna overcome? Al Sharpton, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. They just said you got $500,000. And then you got Oprah, her little funky ass, talking about she finna start a YouTube podcast. Girl, you just got $1 million from these people. Y'all been hustling for so long. Ain't y'all tired? Or y'all not tired of struggling for black people, fighting these fights and shit? Can't y'all come up with something new? Hey, I'm going to tell y'all this, because I'm not finna have that bullshit going on with my child and my grandkids. Y'all gonna have to fall the fuck back. Okay? Get your motherfucking life, and if you ain't on talking about some real shit to help the Coppertone community FBAs and to get these little knuckleheads in the Caribbean to understanding that they are us and we are them, y'all need to get the fuck out the way. Okay? Because you ain't doing nothing but trying to hold people back. And this industry of police brutality and motherfuckers marching and singing and overcoming and paying tithes and offering and benevolent to motherfuckers that ain't helping them is over. We not doing that no more. Motherfuckers can buy stocks now. Motherfuckers can have bank accounts. People can buy houses and cars. Y'all got to step y'all civil rights game up. Because it's whack as fuck at this point. It is so whack. We gonna go to Costco and sign up for Costco. If you don't sit your black ass down and stop playing these games, sit this one out, sir, respectfully. Anybody that's on that 1980s and back civil rights BS, sit this one out. Because your connections might be good, but your methods are not advanced enough to match the technology that we got. It don't work. It was cute in the 80s. Oh my God, it's 100 people that don't went to Costco and they done signed. It was cute in the 80s. Oh my God, they boycotting the store. Oh, they not gonna buy nothing. It was cute in the 80s. It was cute. But in 2025, it's played out. It's washed up. You got to do something better because people want to have legacies. See that bullshit that y'all got, y'all activists that y'all have, that y'all been getting that money from these corporations and the government on the back end by calming the black folks down. And then when something happens, you rile them up and then you calm them down. We know that you've been getting money for that all these years. Like, seriously. Just the fact that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they was the only ones that got killed, but the rest of y'all motherfuckers still walking around just looks crazy. I'm not saying that y'all should have got shot. I mean, not dead, but I mean, damn, you should have got shot at least in the leg or the knee or the arm or something. These motherfuckers, Martin Luther King got shot in the fucking face. Damn, y'all ain't get grazed or nothing? Y'all ain't got no stab wounds, nothing? Yeah, okay, so that was a setup, obviously, right? You can just read that like it is. Like, damn, Rejects of immigrants shoot well enough to shoot a motherfucker in the face. I don't know if I believe it. I'm just saying. I don't. I don't. I don't. The first time? Nah, nigga. Nah. And it's a bunch of people outside on a balcony during the, it was a morning, night. Well, you know what I'm saying? It just don't, it's not reading like that was the case. Somebody else should have been shot in the arm at least. Is all I'm saying. Because it's reading like that was a setup. And then the Malcolm X stuff, it's like, ain't nobody else getting hurt. These only motherfuckers. Then Medgar Evers and the other guy. I don't know. But the rest of y'all still walking around and y'all ain't got no wounds. You ain't got no wounds. You ain't nobody punch you in the face. You ain't got no black eye. I mean, I'm not saying that I want that for you, but I'm saying it's giving a scam at this point. It's giving, you need to sit your old ass down and get the fuck out the way, because ain't nobody gonna keep doing this same played out bullshit. Ain't nobody gonna keep doing that. And these are just spoken from a copper tone person. See, y'all not talking about getting your family information. Y'all just keep beating this home of oppression. Now, if you really thought that it was racist like that in America, then why the fuck are you partnered with a lot of these corporations? If the corporations is racist. Make it make sense, loves. Because as long as y'all been protesting and activism and all this stuff, there should be such a big ass network that's owned completely by copper tones in a system that puts out information about copper tones for copper tones that can dismantle anything that goes against copper tones, to the point to where we running shit in all of our communities across the country. But since that's not the case, that lets me know that y'all some scheming, lying motherfuckers. Huh? Sit down. Sit this out. Just sit it out. We gonna take her. And all of y'all that's saying boycott, you don't boycott stores that's in your neighborhood, because the stores that's in your neighborhood is paying tax dollars to your neighborhood. Buy the black products that's in the stores. When they run out of those products, you keep requesting in a very nice way that they keep putting those products on the shelves. That's how you boycott. Because the point is to have black products in the stores. But if you are saying, I'm not shopping here no more because they changed the DEI that wasn't benefiting black people for real anyway, I'm going to cut off my nose to spite my face. Y'all sound crazy, because you can't believe that the world is racist. Not America, because your actions prove that it can't be. Your behavior proves that it can't be. Because the truth of the matter is, if you actually believe that the schools is teaching your kids lies about your culture, why the fuck are you sending your kids to the school? If you actually believe that doctors and nurses and hospitals are doing harmful things to black women and children and men in those facilities, why the fuck are you sending your kids there? Why the fuck are you going there? It's because we ain't got none. All these years you ain't figured out how to get your own hospital, when they literally used to have black hospitals, black schools. There are black universities that teach people how to be nurses and doctors all across the fucking country. What the fuck are you talking about? Somebody lying, somebody lying, somebody lying. Okay? Y'all some lying motherfuckers. Now I can't, they poison us with the food. Then why the fuck you shopping there? They doing this to get your health together. They doing X, Y, the car prices, the this prices, the this. Build it yourself. They literally sell house kits. Huh? They literally got kits that comes with everything you need to build a fucking house. All you gotta do is get the lot. Maybe a permit. Maybe a permit. Huh? Somebody lying. Somebody lying. It ain't making the census. Somebody's lying. The banks, you know that there were black banks, and there still are black banks around the country. What are you talking about? The problem is you wanted to be around white folks. That's what it was. You wanted to be around the people who didn't like you. Now you around them, and then what? See, y'all gonna stop saying that this DEI is for black people, because it's never been. Black people still been struggling with the same shit they were struggling with in the 1950s. This was for everybody else. White women. It was for everybody else that wasn't a white man. That's who it was benefiting. Everybody that wasn't a white man, with the exception of black people. So everybody else was benefiting off of this shit. So let them protest, because they done lost their rights that wasn't for them in the first place. They was using shit that wasn't for them in the first place, and talking mad shit while they was doing it. Oh my gosh, y'all been doing that for a very long ass time. So if you got to go back the fuck where you can, the Asian community was the loudest and the most vocal. They doing straight lawsuits. Well, black people shouldn't be able to go to, nigga, we got our own colleges. What the fuck are you talking about? Affirmative action ain't for us. And white men, you should be upset with them because they ruined that affirmative action for y'all asses. This is what happens when you teach lies in school and motherfuckers come from other countries and they actually believe the lies because do you honestly think that black folks is just that fucked up? You crazy. Our ancestors built the fucking country, and y'all follow most of the trends that we fucking create. What are you talking about? Get your life. Do better, people. But for y'all Caputones, let me tell y'all something. That old ass marching and singing and kumbayaing and shit, it's done. We about the money. We be getting to the money. And everybody gonna be mad. That's what we own. So all of you Al Sharptons, Oprah Winfrey's, whoever the fuck, Marlon, whatever the fuck his name, Roland Martin, all that motherfucking bullshit. Y'all sitting up, Joy Reid and all y'all motherfuckers sitting up talking all that stupid ass bullshit. Fall back. Because it's been found that y'all some lousy, lying, scheming motherfuckers from this previous election. Everybody that was benefiting off of shit that was designated for black people, even the motherfuckers with the tribes and shit. Because I know for a fact that my history goes back to certain tribes, and we've been kept from being a part of our fucking nations all these years. So they know some shit that we don't know, that y'all don't act like y'all know. And so here's the thing. If you not for black folks actually benefiting and doing well, then you the problem. But we not gonna keep doing this same lousy, stupid ass bullshit. Oh, we gon' overcome someday. Nah, bitch, we done already overcome. Motherfuckers in the stores. Motherfuckers living in neighborhoods they wanna live in. They driving cars they wanna drive. They got bank accounts. They can go to school where the fuck they wanna go. They can marry who the fuck they wanna marry and have kids with them. They done already overcome. Y'all need to stop playing that bullshit. Buy the products that's in the store. This ain't got nothing to do with black people, the DEI being changed. It has something to do with the fact that the government should not be able to have a group of people come from somewhere and they undocumented and tell companies that you better hire these motherfuckers over the citizens in the country that's already here applying for those jobs. That sounds crazy. So yeah, if that got to be disbanded, but that don't change your rights as a citizen, copper tones. That changes the shit up for everybody that was talking shit. And they have been talking mad shit for years. Y'all just ain't pulling yourself up, but y'all bootstrap. Y'all just ain't this. Y'all just ain't this. Musicians, streamers, actors, regular people, doctors, nurses, people that own businesses in the community. They have literally all been talking mad shit to FBAs. Online. In 4K, often, on ass to the point to where people all over everywhere sitting up talking about black folks is lazy and they don't want to do nothing, and black people they just the worst kind of people. But y'all literally been benefiting off of the struggles of black people, getting the benefits that black people fought for. Copper tones fought for their struggles, all of those things. The only people on the planet that I know that, well, with the exception of the immigrants, the white folks that immigrated here against Britain, that will fight for their own rights is copper tones. Huh? Them the only ones I see that actually do that. Everybody else run to somewhere else. So if you a runner or a descendant of a runner to somewhere else, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because you just run when things get hard. Our ancestors fought, struggled, and built their own shit for their kids to be swarmed and, convinced that what they had was not good enough for them. But now they able to go to the stores and eat and do all this stuff. See, the problem is copper tones have too many people not acknowledging the fact that they have overcome already. And when you have people not acknowledging the fact that you've already overcome because they still stuck in that mindset of, we got to swing low, sweet chariot. Nigga, we not on no railroad going no fucking where. Like, we not on the underground. You ain't even got to do that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. It's cap, man. You don't believe that America is racist because the way you be maneuvering. Half of y'all be out here wilding out. If you actually thought that America was racist, there would be no black people on drugs. How can you say that? Oh, I can say that confidently. If you thought that America was racist, there would be no black people sitting up talking about, oh, I feel like this on the inside, or I feel like that on the inside. All that overly opinionated, oversharing shit. If y'all actually thought that the America was racist, like y'all trying to make it seem like, you wouldn't be doing half the shit you doing right now. None of it. You wouldn't be watching no TV shows. You wouldn't participate in anything that even remotely reminded you or gave you an inclination or seemingly promoted any kind of racism in any form or fashion. You wouldn't be on it. Copper tones for certain would be the healthiest, wisest, most knowledgeable, most self-sufficient group of people in fucking America, on planet Earth. Period. And every group of people would want to be like how they are because they so fucking sufficient. The fact of the matter is, you know that it ain't what y'all saying it is. Because the way y'all act don't show that. You wouldn't be trying to get shit from the government if you thought that the government was out to get you. You would be handling your shit differently. There's no fucking way that you think that America is racist, and any of y'all that sit up and act like y'all do is fucking lying to yourselves. Because if you actually thought that America was racist and the people in America was racist, you wouldn't be behaving the way that you do. You wouldn't send your kids to the schools. You wouldn't shop at the stores. You would have already established everything that you need to be self-sufficient as a group of people. But that don't make sense, that you keep barking up the wrong tree and beating this damn drum of 1950s civil rights movements. It wouldn't be no strife between men and women. The men would have their shit together and the women would have their shit together, and they would be linked in, locked in arms together, raising their families and raising their kids. Wouldn't nobody be sitting up arguing. And you might be thinking that I'm saying some shit like, that's just a hunky-dory world. No, if you actually felt like America was a real threat to you, you would not be behaving the way that y'all behave. Belligerent, drinking, smoking, being promiscuous, all the fucked up shit that y'all been doing. Nobody would have to say, don't put out songs that program our kids. You wouldn't even have to be doing nothing like that if you actually thought that you was up against a real threat. The fact of the matter is that you don't think that you up against a real threat, which is why you motherfuckers walk around with your asses on your shoulders, only seeing the trees and not behaving like it's a forest with trees and shrubs and birds and grasses and ground coverings and all these other things that are in fucking forests besides trees. You cut your noses off to spite your face. Anytime something happened, y'all destroy your communities. Anytime something happened, you boycott the stores in your neighborhoods. That's dumb and stupid because the stores in your neighborhood and your community, the customers pay sales taxes that go to your neighborhood, your community. So you wouldn't destroy things that are paying taxes to your neighborhood and your community. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm going to boycott this store. Why? You ain't boycotting no doctors. You ain't boycotting no schools. You ain't boycotting no gas stations. Well, I need all that stuff to live. Do you? You're not boycotting no streaming services. So what's the point of boycotting the store if you're not boycotting everything? Exactly, because it's not racist. You're just putting up a fight because the DEI has led everyone to believe that it's for black people, but it's never benefited black people. And you can tell it's never benefited black people because of the amount of police brutality that has continuously been happening. A large part of what was going on during the civil rights movement was police brutality. People just being treated like humans. Name a group of people in America that have continuously been dealing with police brutality. I'll wait. Exactly. AAs, as you call them, copper tones, black folks, Negroes, coloreds, whoever the fuck you want to call them, Niji, you can call them Niji. Them, they are the ones. You literally pay sales taxes under all the parties, y'all. But y'all think that they different. These are people that come campaign to be a part of the government, which the American citizens are already foundationally part of. I'm not understanding where the disconnect is, but if y'all keep letting these old ass marching ass niggas keep dragging y'all down this road of we gonna overcome and we gonna do this, and you literally can see that they getting paid to do that shit. You can see that, but they not doing shit to benefit the community. Because why is the community still doing the same shit? The ministers kept saying, do co-ops. They've been saying that forever. What y'all do? Y'all don't do co-ops. Why? Because you don't believe that it's actually racism happening. If you did, the men and the women would be getting along a hell of a lot better because you know that you will be a force to be reckoned with together as opposed to being separate. No one outside of your race would be able to convince you that someone in your race was doing something harmful to you. There would be no shaming or mistreatment of anybody of your race to the point to where people that look like you, that's of a certain pronoun or sexuality or what have you, they literally wouldn't be trying to be a part of a group different from your group of people if y'all actually believed that racism was a thing in America. Huh? If you actually believe that, I know that you don't because y'all behaviors don't prove that to be the case. So stop the cap. Keep buying the products of the black folks in these stores, specifically Target, since y'all trying to target. Yeah, buy the products. Take a photo of yourself buying the product. Yeah, and all of y'all who have products in Target, now's the time for you to start showing what you got in the store. I got these products. Promote it. That's why you have social media. It's a new age. We ain't waiting for nobody to give us the news based off of what they think anymore. Now you can promote yourself. Yeah, we are already overcome. The point of overcoming, from based on what the civil rights movement was saying, was so that you do have products in the white stores, and y'all got it there. So keep buying those products because that's what your intentions were. That's what their intentions were. They weren't asking for economic freedom. They were asking to be in white people's stores and to shop with white people and to live around white people and to study with white people and marry and date and have babies with white people without being prosecuted by the law. That's what they were asking for, and you have that. The economic freedom they already had. They had black towns. They had their own schools. They had their own hospitals. They had their own shit. Now you don't. So you gonna protest against what motherfuckers was marching for? That sounds crazy. Get y'all life.